So I got an opportunity to meet a lot of you already tonight at my little table over there, but for those I didn't, my name is Allison. I'm a Bitcoin pleb from Northeast Ohio, and one of my passions is combining Bitcoin and health. So a lot of people ask me, what does Bitcoin have to do with health? Well, one of the people I consider a mentor says that health and wealth are fundamentally linked, and that the most valuable asset on the planet that isn't Bitcoin is time, and that time is medicine. So how do we get more time? How do we get more time to enjoy that Bitcoin? We put a focus on our health. So I've come up with 7 tips for overall health for you guys tonight to consider implementing into your lives. These are not in any specific order. The first 2 are probably going to be the most obvious. And number 1 is going to be movement. So exercising your body and your mind in a way that you enjoy. So for those who know me on Twitter, you might know me as Bitcoin Yogini. So I'm a big advocate for yoga for the body and the mind. I also love Pilates, I love weightlifting, I love hiking. So again, something that you genuinely enjoy doing, that your body feels good doing, something that you get excited to do, and something that you just, again, feel good doing with a good community. This is not a one-size-fits-all approach, so I like to remind people what's working for me does not mean it's going to work for you. So it's going to depend on your age, your gender, your activity level, what your day looks like, how much time you're spending in nature, how much time you're spending inside. So again, find something that works for you that your body responds well to. I also like to take time out of my day to find some stillness or meditation. So for me, that is just breathing, closing my eyes, taking a few minutes to myself every single morning. It has made me a more calm person, a more compassionate person, and a more empathetic person. So if you have not tried it, doesn't have to be fancy. Close your eyes for 1 minute, take a couple of deep breaths, and it is amazing how much better you will feel. So when you take a deep breath, it's going to provide more oxygen to your brain, so your brain is going to work better. So one of my teachers says that the definition of meditation is a one-pointed focus. So this can literally be anything. It doesn't have to be sitting in a corner, cross-legged in a dark room and breathing for 20 minutes. It can be walking out in nature without technology. It can be washing dishes. It can literally be meditation, movement, anything that makes you have that one-pointed focus and be completely present with what you're doing. Number 2, prioritize eating whole foods that are local and seasonal. So I think a lot of people are aware we don't want to be eating a lot of processed food, but they're not understanding the importance of local and seasonal. So this is how we evolved. So we were eating what was available, what was in season, and some people will say that food has a circadian barcode on it. So you should be eating the food that you are sharing with the sun. So if you are in Ohio, what is growing under our sun here in Ohio is what you should be eating. I know it's hard when we get into the cold months, but it is not realistic that we should be eating fruit when there is snow outside. So some would say that that is a circadian mismatch and will actually make you really sick. So I like to focus on seasonal eating, but also local eating. So I encourage you to go to farmers markets, go to farms, shake your farmer's hand, understand where your meat is coming from, understand where your eggs are coming from, understand and maybe even see where your dairy is coming from. I'm a huge advocate of raw milk. I feel like I could give a whole presentation just on raw milk tonight, but I won't. There's actually a website called realmilk.com. So if you're looking to find raw milk, I encourage you to use that website. The raw milk that I get is actually marketed as pet milk, just for legal reasons in Ohio. So it actually says not for human consumption, but it's something I've been drinking for about 2.5 years now, and I absolutely love it. Another thing when it comes to food is prioritizing DHA. So our brains are made up of 1/3 fat. 20% of that is DHA. So DHA is an omega-3 fatty acid, and so DHA is kind of like brain food. It's going to make our brains work better. So as we head into cold months, I encourage you to try and focus on cold water fish. So that's going to be your salmon, your sardines, your mackerel, always wild caught. Any seafood is great, but if you can focus on those cold water fish as we go into the cold season, it is really great for your health. Just like movement, this is not one size fits all. So pick foods that feel good for you, that your body is responding well to. So those are some things that we want to invite into our diet. What do we want to eliminate or limit? Number one, seed oils. I'm sure all of you are familiar with it. I feel like it's pretty big in the Bitcoin space to eliminate seed oils because they are extremely processed and inflammatory. Number two is going to be gluten, and number three is going to be processed sugar. So natural sugar, totally fine. My husband Andrew and I actually sell honey for Bitcoin. So it is local raw honey from Northeast Ohio. So we are big advocates of honey. We love maple syrup and things like that, but you don't want to be eating a lot of processed sugar. I'm an 80-20 person, so 80% of the time I am eating whole, local, seasonal foods. 20% of the time, I love to enjoy things like ice cream. Number three, one of the most important, optimizing your light environment. So you'll notice I'm wearing orange glasses tonight. It fits the Bitcoin theme, I know, but that is not why I'm wearing them. These are not Bitcoin glasses, they are blue light blockers. So what is blue light? And why am I trying to block it? Blue light that I'm trying to block is isolated blue light. So there is blue light that occurs in nature. It is never isolated. So when there is blue light in nature, it's coming from the sun, and that's when the sun is very high in the sky. So that's when you're going to get full spectrum light. You're going to get your reds, your purples, your greens, and so on. So most devices, besides this one, has isolated blue light. LEDs that we spend a lot of time under have isolated blue light. So these are going to tank our melatonin production. So in the evening, that's why I wear the dark orange glasses, to try and block some of that blue light to help me sleep better, have a better circadian rhythm, get a good night's sleep, be more productive the next day. So what if you work in an office all day? I'm always telling people, get outside as much as you possibly can, be in nature as much as you possibly can, and they're like, Allison, I sit behind a computer from 9 to 5, and I'm inside all day. Help me, what do I do? Number one, I want you to tell your employer that you've taken up smoking, and you're gonna go outside and you're gonna take light breaks. Second thing that you can do is wear yellow blue light blockers. So I have orange ones on, that's for evening time. Yellow are great for blocking some blue light, but it's not going to block all of the blue light, and it's not going to block all of the green light. So it's just going to make your computer a little easier on the eyes. I also really like yellow blue light blockers for evening driving. I hate the people, I'm sorry if you have bright LED lights and like a panel on your car. It is extremely blinding to people who have light colored eyes. So wearing the yellow blue light blockers in the evening has really helped me, especially when we have these really short days and it's dark at 5 o'clock. So I like to tell people we are beings of light. So we want to have bright days and we want to have dark nights. So during the day, even if you are inside, you want to have some light. So open a window, get some full spectrum incandescent bulbs, get one of the lights like I have on my table over there. The one that is amber can actually go a bright white color as well. So these are just going to be a little more circadian friendly. After sunset, we want really low light environment. So if you can, again, incandescent during the day, but in the evening, we want nice, warm red light, ideally red incandescent. So someone I know, she uses bright white light overhead during the day, and then as the sun sets, she's using a more amber tone, kind of like the sky portal is right now. And then in the evening, she uses red light more so on the ground, because that's how we evolved. We evolved around fire and infrared light being on the floor. So above the head, no good, really in general, especially if it's LED, but we don't want to be doing that in the evening time. So blue light can actually raise your blood sugar. I know people think it's crazy when I say that, but I try and eat as many meals as I can outside, especially in the summer. Many people know it's not great to eat ice cream and a piece of cake before going to bed. Same with blue light. We don't want bright blue light and then try to go to sleep at night. So many people tell me that they have trouble sleeping. This is why. So considering all of what I just said about light, it's going to help you sleep, but along with that, blackout blinds and or a sleep mask, also going to help you sleep. Like I said, we want bright days, but we also want really dark nights. Another thing to touch on here is flicker. So something that I do in the evening, I wear my orange blue light blockers, I turn my phone screen red, and I also have a blue light protector on my phone. So I'm blocking all of the blue light, but what I can't control is the flicker. So many people don't know that that is a thing. your phone flickers so fast that you can't see it. So that puts our bodies into a state of stress, and that's also going to tank our melatonin production. It's also very addictive. That's what keeps you coming back to your screen, the blue light and the flicker. So my solution to that is a daylight computer tablet. So this device here is blue light and flicker free. The screen technology is also wonderful, so it gets brighter when you go outside, so it kind of works with the sun instead of against the sun. So I've had this for the past 2 springs and summers, and I have gotten so much more work done outside having this device. So it kind of just encourages you to work in nature and spend more time outside. So I am an ambassador for the company. I do demos all the time, so if you would like a demo or would like to know more about this device, please stop by our table. I have all kinds of fun things that I'm talking about tonight, like our lights, a Wi-Fi kill switch, all kinds of things. So please don't hesitate to come over and talk to us. Number 4. Have a good balance between technology and nature. So this for me is just spending as much time as I possibly can outside, ideally in the morning, or most importantly in the morning. So getting outside and getting that full spectrum light, incandescent light, directly into the eye. So that means no contacts, no glasses, and definitely no sunglasses. You want to do that fully grounded if you can. When I say grounded, that's also known as earthing, connecting a piece of your body directly to the earth. So just like we're beings of light, we are also beings of electricity. So we are literally receiving free electrons from the Earth's magnetic field. So when you go outside and you connect your feet on the earth, it can lower inflammation, it can help your sleep, it can help your circadian rhythm, and so on. So this is another topic I feel like I could talk all night about, is grounding. People are starting to ask me now, what do I do because it is getting cold outside? I have many solutions for this. So not only do you ground through your feet, you can ground through any part of your body, including your hands. So we have sweat glands on our hands and our feet. We're the only mammals on the planet that do. So if you're on a wet surface, grounding is intensified. It's going to be even better. But something else you can do is go outside and touch a tree. You can ground like that. They also make grounding shoes. You never want to wear these in a city because you can pick up dirty electricity, so make sure you're only wearing your grounding shoes in nature. I also have grounding plugs in my hiking boots. So I was outside this morning when it was 25 degrees with a cup of cacao. I put my hiking boots on and I went and stood in the yard for 10 minutes. It was cold. I'm still adapting, but that's okay. Number 5. Mitigating non-native EMF exposure. So what does EMF stand for? That stands for electromagnetic field. There are 2 that naturally occur in nature, and that is going to be coming from the sunshine, and that's going to be the Earth's magnetic field, also known as the Schumann resonance. So what is a non-native EMF? These are electric fields that we did not evolve around, and these are biological stressors. So that's going to be things like blue light, artificial light, especially those on a dimmer. So some people think, oh, well, if my lighting is lower, it's got to be better for my health. It's not as bright. That's actually going to be worse for your health because the more you dim your light, the more it's flickering, so the more it's putting your body into a state of stress. So I don't recommend having the dimmers on your lights if possible. Other things that are considered non-native EMFs would be things like Wi-Fi and Bluetooth. Yes, this includes Bluetooth headphones. One of the hardest things for me to give up a handful of years ago, but one of the worst things for your health, in my opinion. Things like laptops, tablets, computers, of course, are going to give off non-native EMF. Phones and smartwatches, if you wear devices, please turn your Wi-Fi off, your Bluetooth off, and your cell signal off, okay? 5G towers and power lines, also huge non-native EMFs. You do not want to live within a mile or 2 of those huge towers and power lines. Electrical vehicles. These batteries and these things emit massive alien magnetic fields. So these are things that we did not evolve around. So if you have one, you never want to be in it or close to it when it's charging. Ideally, you're not driving one at all. So how do we mitigate this? We spend more time in nature. So getting outside as much as you possibly can, grounded, and taking those light breaks. So it all comes back to nature. Those are going to be the most important things that you can do to mitigate the light and to mitigate the non-native EMF, but there are other things you can do too. So Wi-Fi, turning it off at night. It's very simple. We have a Wi-Fi kill switch on our table over there that I'm happy to show anyone. It works from different floors, so I can literally get in bed at night, I can scroll on Twitter on my daylight without any blue light or flicker, and I don't even have to get out of bed to click it off. It is amazing. Another thing you can do is not carry your phone on your body. So I don't recommend carrying your phone in your pocket, but it's better off if you can put it in airplane mode, put it in a purse, put it in a satchel, put it in a Faraday cage, put it in a fanny pack. It's going to be a lot better choice than carrying it directly on your body. You can also get a Faraday mesh cage for your Wi-Fi router. So that's going to help reduce radiation heavily. So if you don't have a Wi-Fi kill switch, this is a great option. I recommend both if you can. Eliminating the wearables. I already touched on the smartwatches, but your Apple Watches, your Fitbits, your Oura Rings, we did not evolve wearing this technology. So our ancestors did not count their steps. They did not track their sleep. They did not track their calories. So if you're trying to be a healthier individual, I encourage you to just try and get back to nature and let go of technology and the devices. Lastly here, another thing you can do to mitigate the non-native EMF is to unplug things in your bedroom while you're sleeping. You should never be sleeping in a room where your phone is charging. That's one of the biggest no-nos. So there's something called the inverse square law. So the closer you are to something that is plugged in, or any kind of radiation technology, the worse it's going to be for your health. So the further away you are from it, the better. You don't really want to be using cell phones and computers while they are plugged in. Number 6, eliminating endocrine disruptors. This is also a big topic that I crunched down as much as I possibly could. So endocrine disruptors are things that disrupt your hormone system, which directs some of your body's most important functions. So these can cause nervous system damage, cancer, reproductive disorders, diabetes, PCOS, and so much more. So how do we eliminate them? We control what is in our environment. So I already told you things that you can control going into your body, but you also want to control the things that are going on your body. So your soaps, your facial routine, your cleaning products, your perfumes, your colognes, you want them to be as natural as possible and fragrant free. So you don't need 100 cleaning products in your house. I think I have about 5, and one of them is white vinegar. So keep it simple. Clothing. Wearing things like organic cotton, wool, hemp, linen, these are all natural materials that not only are better for our skin and our hormone system, but it's going to allow more light in. So if you're going outside and you are bundled up and you're wearing natural materials, you're actually letting some of that sun get through your clothing and you're absorbing some of that light. So not wearing things like polyester, rayon, spandex, nylon, it's literally plastic. It makes me laugh when I see things that say recycled polyester on clothing. That's literally recycled garbage that you're wearing. So lastly, when it comes to the hormone system, what you cook with, what you eat with is extremely important. So you don't want to be cooking on things like Teflon, but things like carbon steel or ceramic. We don't want to be using plastic. You definitely don't want to be putting plastic into the microwave. That is leaching into your food and it is disrupting your hormones. So use glass as much as you can. Try not to use plastic spatulas, but use things like bamboo and wood. Again, just trying to get away from those non-organic materials. Number 7, cold thermogenesis. So this is something I denied until just a couple of years ago, and I was actually denying it this morning when I woke up and it was 25 degrees. But the cold is our friend and the cold is a teacher. So cold exposure is a really powerful tool for overall resilience, but it's also great for improving metabolic health, mitochondrial efficiency, and circadian rhythms. So if your ancestors came from a high latitude like mine did, you need to get outside and you need to feel the cold. I know it is hard, but you need to start now. It's only November, so go outside for 5-10 minutes. Ideally, you have grounding shoes on, or you can even stand in your garage if you have cement garage, and you can get grounding effects from there. So start small so that when January comes and it is 10 degrees outside or colder, you are cold adapted. So just to quickly recap on those 7 things to enhance your overall health. Number 1, exercise your body and mind in a way that you enjoy. Number 2, prioritize eating whole foods that are local and seasonal. Number 3, optimize your light environment. Number 4, have a good balance between technology and nature and getting outside and grounding. Number 5, mitigate non-native EMF exposure. Number 6, eliminate endocrine disruptors. And number 7, cold thermogenesis. So if you'd like to learn more about this, please stop by our table. Andrew and I would love to answer any questions. We have lots of props. We'd love to give you a demo. And also know that we do wellness consultations. We do take Bitcoin, of course, and we're having a circadian wellness day retreat coming up in January at our little log cabin home in Northeast Ohio. So we'll be doing things like cold exposure, going out for a winter hike. We have sauna and cold plunge. We'll be serving local seasonal foods. Before I end, I'm going to end with a quote by Dr. Jack Kruse, and it says, "Wealth without health is an absolute losing game, and Bitcoiners must decentralize their health just like their money." Thank you.